Hello, my name is Serena Sharp, and I'm going to talk to you about the transformation of American news over the last 100 years. So I'm going to cover a few different types of news sources that have been used over the course of time, from the baby boomer generation all the way to millennial and Gen Z news sources. So how have the various generations gotten their news? Obviously, one of the most popular sources for news was the newspaper for the baby boomer generation and Gen X to an extent, and that's a still relevant source today. But we've seen a huge shift in the advancement of technology, and now we can get our news with a few button presses. Not only do we have live news via television networks, but we also have the internet at our fingertips, and most people can get their news straight from their cell phones. News networks like CNN, Al Jazeera, and Fox News have apps that will update and notify you about events happening both nationally and internationally straight from your phone. It is important, though, to pay attention to the source of one's news. Most news networks lean left or right on the political spectrum, and they can skew information in favor of their preferred views. Getting unbiased news is difficult, and it takes much more searching in this tech-intensive age. Because news is so immediate, there is little incentive to fact-check or watch for other opposing views. In fact, much of the time, people will take what a given news site says to a social media, and then misinformation spreading can become a problem. Rather than newspapers or the nightly news, we live in a state of 24/7 on-demand news. This issue can evolve into a desensitization to the broader issues of the world. With so much news at all times of the day, staying informed can be an overwhelming task. It can be stressful to see a constant stream of big, oftentimes troubling current events. For some, it can end up controlling their daily lives, as they're always attempting to keep oneself updated and active. For others, a sense of immunity can set in. After a while, the constant stream can become background noise, or something to be seen once and then immediately forgotten about. Whereas things like the moon landing were huge national events a few decades ago, when every American with a television was glued to their seats, large events today, such as Hubble capturing astounding photos of galaxies and black holes, are easily swept aside. The past 100 years has been full of dramatic change in the US. The methods in which we ingest the news has moved from paper sources to smartphones and tablet screens. As we move further into the future of mass media, we endeavor to stay informed in the swiftest way possible.